Hey, listen to Wrestling Roundup on FreeFM 89.0, ArrowFM and MPR. As always, I'm Grady, and live on Skype we got Josh.
Hey!
A very hyped Josh, who I'm honestly just going to hand the first half of the show over to. Congratulations, you get to run the Raw side of things. Go nuts.
Oh, what a fun show. What a fun experience.
You'd been, counting down to this for, months.
For weeks, not months.
Nah. You were given, days. You were we were this many days, and then it got down, and then it was hours, and...
Yeah. But yeah, I just had a really amazing time. Even beginning with the fact that I actually sat through the taping for main event.
There you go. I think you actually messaged us and said, oh, there's a hidden gem on main event this week. Go and watch that.
Yeah, there was a pretty good Cesaro versus Cedric Alexander match. And the Iconics were on there, which meant that they weren't on Raw.
But we still got to see the Iconics this week.
Yeah, on SmackDown.
Still counts. Plus, you got to be blessed with the beauty that is the Iconics.
Especially considering where I was sitting.
You were sitting, I believe you said, behind the timekeeper?
Yeah. And that happened to be the corner in which the Iconics were tagging from.
Gotcha. But no segue intended there. You started off Raw, and I know another thing that you were mentioning beforehand was the Money in the Bank briefcases.
Initially they looked really small. But they may have been forced perspective, considering they were elevated into the ceiling at the beginning of the show. But because once they lowered them down for the announcement segments, it looked a lot bigger. So I think it was just they looked like the toy-sized ones to begin with.
And then when they come down, they look like briefcase-sized briefcases.
They looked a bit bigger.
Yeah. So you could throw out every single rumored lineup that you'd even consider for this show, because we got something completely and utterly different.
Yeah, rewrite number 1,275,000 gave us Dana Brooke in the match.
I'm not mad.
I'm not either. I'm a fan of Dana.
What do you want to do first, men or women's?
The show kicked off with the men. Let's kick off with the men.
Okay. So we got, I'm trying to split this in my head. Baron Corbin, Drew McIntyre, Braun Strowman, your boy Ricochet, and then over on SmackDown we got Ali, Finn Balor, Andrade, and Randy Orton.
Well, we can strike out 3 of the 8 right away because they've already won one.
Get out my pen. Okay, so that'll be Braun. That'll be Baron, and that'll be Randy?
Yep. So that leaves 5 people. The wild card being Ricochet, just because you never know.
Oh yeah, just because you never know. Definitely not because you want him to win or anything.
I don't have any illusions of grandeur. I know he's not going to win. But there's the wild card of they might have him win it.
Hey, I kept betting on the Iconics, and now they're champs, so...
Yeah. The favorite has to be Drew McIntyre.
Yes! Drew. I got nothing more. I'm just cheering for Drew.
Yeah. Honestly, I really don't see any other person that could be considered a favorite.
My early pick, and much like the King, I'll change it often, but my early pick is Andrade.
That I could possibly see it. I would rather have had Andrade versus Balor in a singles match for the Intercontinental title.
Yeah, it makes a bit more sense.
But it is what it is.
So you're picking Drew.
Pretty much. I can't see anybody else winning it.
Fair enough.
and whoever wins it has to cash in and win the title. We've had 2 failures in a row.
Yeah. You're pretty much guaranteeing a future world champion.
So that, again, narrows it down to just Drew.
Or Andrade. Just because that's where my money lies. Don't take all my shots away from me. But on the other side of the coin, we got the woman. As you said, Dana Brooke is in there. With Natalya, Naomi, and Alexa Bliss from Raw. And then Mandy Rose, Carmella, Ember Moon, and Bayley from SmackDown.
This is a bit more of an even one, as we do have 2 people in it that's already won one.
Mm-hmm. So we're scratching off Alexa Bliss and Carmella?
I think so. Although with Alexa Bliss, you can never outright anything, really.
you make a good point, yes.
I'm going to go with Ember Moon.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely her time to get some sort of push going forward, and winning this briefcase would definitely do that. I will say this, there are an awful lot of blondes in this match.
Well, that's where I was going, because my pick is Mandy Rose.
I could definitely see her winning. I think if I was going to pick one of the blondes, I'd probably go with my what's going to be my wild card, and that'll be Dana.
Mm-hmm. Isn't there 4 blondes in this match out of 8? It's 50-50.
Yeah. Might as well segue to the Raw Women's Championship from here.
Go nuts, man. Raw's your half.
After all, there's a blonde involved.
I told you before the show you have to come up with the segues, and I'm like, you're nailing exactly as bad as my segues ever are, so it's perfect. It's fine.
That was a fun little brawl. I know we wanted to see them fight forever. Just because it's... but Becky has finally run into somebody she can't bully.
Mm-hmm. Because she's... I don't know. I don't know. I don't see Lacey Evans winning.
I don't either. But it wouldn't shock me.
I think it would shock me.
But all this is doing is just elevating Lacey.
Mm.
And I think it is exposing a few flaws in Becky.
Okay.
Too.
You're not allowed to do that. The internet loves her too much. You're not allowed to expose flaws. God damn it. She's perfect. What was your favorite moment on Raw? And don't pick the brawl, because we already talked about that one.
Might be the most random chant that I never imagined that I would actually chant.
Okay.
And that would be Shave Your Back.
I was hoping we wouldn't have to talk about this segment. And here we go. How did this come across live, I guess is the question.
I don't know about other people, but I absolutely found it funny. And obviously, I guess the crowd did too, because during the Revivals match at the towards the end of the show, we started the chant for them to shave their back. And that was definitely on the list of things I'd never expected to chant.
Yeah. I think you should put it back on that list, because I don't think you'll ever chant it again in your life. Again, Raw's tag team division stepping it up. Gallows and Anderson popping over. Usos in a fairly big program with the Revival already. Raw tag team champs showed up as well. You got a lot of tag team action.
Yeah, and the tag team champions also got another win.
Wouldn't you love seeing Zack Ryder celebrate his victory live?
Actually, I don't think they actually did celebrate.
Oh. Well, you got to see him win.
Yeah, I kind of expected it when you considered it was the revival and what happened earlier in the show with that whole video pro package.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is.
Now, my number one question, like, I could be sitting here asking all day, you know, how did this come across live? How did this come across live? How did the Viking Raiders come across live?
We were confused.
Okay.
Not because of the Raiders themselves or anything. We had no idea who to cheer for. To be honest, WWE hasn't given us any kind of idea of what kind of alignment these guys have. They've just come out and squashed a couple guys, and that's it.
Yeah.
We don't know anything about them. We don't know if they're good guys, bad guys. We didn't know and then you had the Lucha House Party attack them during their entrance. So were we supposed to boo for them? it really, I don't know if it came across that way, but that's what it felt like in the arena. We didn't know what to do.
I'd just default to cheering for the Viking Raiders. That's my default I always go to. I believe it was played off as the Lucha House Party getting revenge for the brutal and vicious attack of the Viking Raiders last week. So my gut would be Viking Raiders heel, Lucha Party face. But you're right in terms of I wouldn't bet on that. They're just two strong boys who also like to be Vikings and beat the hell out of small masked people.
Yeah, I still say they need to add Sarah Logan.
It would work really well. Notice she isn't in the Money in the Bank. Just saying. I said I wasn't gonna constantly just ask how this came across. How did the Firefly Funhouse? Watching that live with people.
I think it went over well. I really think this is actually getting over.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know to what degree, but I have heard stories of people's 2 years of tuning into it.
Oh God,
no. Really getting into it.
No.
So I think it's actually working in a way that it probably wasn't intended.
Please, if your 2-year-old is watching Firefly Funhouse, run. Just get out of there. Turn the TV off. Watch literally anything else. But yeah, that's good to hear because obviously it's over on the internet. And, you know, YouTube gets decent views and everyone's constantly talking about it and all the smarks seem to be turning around on it. But if the crowd's dead during it, then, you know, as soon as he actually comes out in person, they're just going to still be dead. But if they're receiving it well, then that's a good sign.
I know we definitely paid attention to it.
Out of all the other things you could have been paying attention to, given there's a giant video playing on a screen.
Yeah.
What else you want to talk about from Raw? I'm sure you have, like, thousands of things.
Well, let's see here. How about Samoa Joe?
Losing.
Yeah, it was a decent match. Nothing spectacular, but it didn't have to be. And I really think this is beginning the build to Dominic actually getting in the ring.
Okay. Because he was meant to have some form in the WrestleMania, right? He was meant to do something.
I don't really know. I am hearing rumors that he might have signed a contract with WWE. I don't know. I do know he has been training. I think he's got like 3 years under his belt.
Okay. She'll be interesting. Especially after seeing what Samoa Joe did with AJ and like playing off the family angle over there. Pretty much just an extension to take that over to Rey Mysterio. Plus, any big match that has Dominic and they play the VT, it'll be amazing because it'll just span back so far.
And going back even further, let's talk about the main event.
Okay.
A match 15 years in the making.
That's one way to bill it, sure.
AJ versus Seth.
you pretty much got to see everything on this Raw, didn't you? Like, you got amazing tag team wrestling, you got a bunch of women's wrestling, you got Firefly Funhouse, you got Money in the Bank briefcases, and you got a contract signing.
Yeah. That one of the ones that actually went awry too. That it was interesting. It almost seemed like AJ was alluding to possible heelish tendencies.
Someone's gotta.
It also made me wonder, now that the club is on Raw, are they going to reform and beat up John Cena? Or
hashtag beat up Seth Rollins?
Yeah. Or could they do something else if they weren't going to go that route? Because there are an awful lot of former Impact Wrestling stars on Raw right now. You could form a stable out of that.
You could. That's fantasy booking 101.
Yeah.
To be fair, the Undisputed Era is pretty much just ex-Ring of Honor guys. I think they're all in Ring of Honor.
Yeah, they were. Including Roderick Strong.
Yeah. So, it's not unheard of. It would be interesting. I could see that playing into a Survivor Series really well. Although the ending would be pretty obvious. We will have to wait and see which direction they go. See, we're almost at the point of song, but I'm going to let you have one more topic from anything on Raw. You should probably pick where your boy Ricochet showed up.
I know we went nuts when he came out.
It's like the one time you'll ever be able to talk about your boy beating my boy.
Yeah. He definitely, well, technically he didn't, because Drew walked out after sucker punching Baron, so...
I'm counting it. On paper, your boy beat my boy.
But yeah, it was a good match to start off Raw. Ricochet definitely played the face in peril pretty well. And got to see a lot of the moves that he can do and stuff. And he actually got to talk, too, before being told to shut up. By your boy.
Yeah. That's just how my boy be.
But, yeah. I don't know how it came off across television, but I know we got loud for him.
That's good. Like, you guys were always going to, right? Like, it's not often that Ricochet gets a home show, and it's not often that Kentucky gets a live show, a live television show that also involves a pro wrestler from that area.
Yeah, I mean, it had been 9 years since Raw had been in Kentucky.
Did that have Hillbilly Jim on it?
No. So I mean, that was 2010.
Is this the only live television show ever in Kentucky to feature a Kentucky-based superstar?
Probably not. Because I'm pretty sure Judgment Day in 2005 had Eugene on it.
Ah, damn. Well, that's cheating. I'm gonna pretend it is. I'm gonna say, in the last 14 years. And then we're sold. So it is time for me to cut you off. We've used most of the show. This will be a fun edit to do. And we're gonna play Raw's theme song as a celebration of your attending. It is Papa Roach's Born for Greatness. And you're back with the Wrestling Roundup on FreeFM, ArrowFM, MPR, Grady and Josh. We're on the SmackDown side. You didn't attend SmackDown.
No, I can't go to Ohio. That'd be crazy.
But we have a few things to quickly run through before we run out of time on this side of the show. Hardy Boys, no champ.
Yeah, they had to relinquish the titles and then got beat up by Lars Sullivan. You'd think he was in the club or something.
Yeah. Sadly, Hardy Boys, they look like they were getting one more hype run, and then injury slows them down. It seems like that's perpetually the problem at the moment with definitely with the Hardy Boys of just like injury,
especially
injury.
Jeff Hardy.
Well, Matt was out for a little while with an injury as well, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I feel like a couple of years ago. So they're old dudes. Their bodies were pretty banged up. They wrestled a fairly, I wouldn't say dangerous, fairly self-damaging style as well. Got to give it in sometime, right?
Yeah. I think it is time to probably start thinking about hanging up those boots because the injuries are mounting, and it's only going to get worse for, especially Jeff.
Yeah.
Matt was crazy, but Jeff was on another level of crazy. He had no respect for his body.
Well, hopefully he does soon and makes that decision that I think he needs to make soon. KO versus Kofi Kingston. Match is official.
Yeah. I liked how SmackDown was really booked ended by this feud. It really made it feel more important.
Yeah.
You had the opening promo where he was Kofi was addressing the betrayal from the week before. You had Xavier Woods attack and then get hurt by Kevin Owens. Setting up the end of the show with the KO show. Interviewing 2 action figures.
Kevin Owens loves his action figures, man.
You know what? Evil KO is the right way to go.
It just works.
Yep. Too bad it won't get him the WWE Championship.
Ooh, ow. Alright.
At least not now.
Not right now. Yeah, give him like 6 years. The final thing that we've got time to talk about on SmackDown, Roman Reigns versus the B Team with Elias.
Yep.
As a special
guest
referee.
So we have Shane in the middle of 2 different feuds at the same time.
Shane hates The Miz and Shane hates Roman Reigns. Shane hates
and
a lot
Shane
of people.
Is a giant hypocrite for it too.
Just a little?
Because he's like, what kind of man would attack a man's father? And that's exactly what he did to Miz. and I'm sitting back like the same man that would attack his own father.
Yeah.
Obviously a reference to WrestleMania 17.
Yeah. It's like SmackDown Shane is like pretty bad, but not too bad. Raw Shane is pretty brutal at the moment. But yeah, over on SmackDown Shane, Roman Reigns still picked up the win because, to be fair, the B Team is not that formidable of opponents.
No. It was definitely never in question. The only way they were going to win is if Elias cost him the match, and he tried his dangest, but didn't quite get it through.
To be fair, with the Hardy Boys gone and the SmackDown Tag Team division on life support, you might be looking at your brand new SmackDown Tag Team Champions.
I suppose it's possible. I'd rather give it to Heavy Machinery.
So would I. Doesn't mean that's the way they'll go.
Yeah.
So the shake-up is still happening. These like aftershakes.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Aftershocks are what they're called. God damn
I mean, the club transitioned, and this weekend it's like, well, and they didn't even announce it or anything. I thought they had. Well, I remember seeing AJ post a picture of them together, so I assumed it had been already pre-announced.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if there's any further aftershocks from the shake-up in the coming weeks. But that's all we have time for. SmackDown got a bit of the short end of the stick there, but next time, there's a live SmackDown in Kentucky, SmackDown can get talked about a bit more, okay? Or New Zealand, if you want to bring SmackDown over to New Zealand. also a possibility. No, never gonna happen. Any final words from you?
I just had an absolute blast, and it was something that I really am glad I did.
What a nice way to end the show. It's been great talking to you.
Bye, B.
You can visit our Facebook page, facebook.com/WrestlingRradio, Twitter page, twitter.com/WrestlingRradio, and we'll see you all next week.